Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this SGODDE, or it's SGODDE, I don't know how you pronounce that, bicycle seat. And if you find this video helpful, I'll put a link in the description of this on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the package is pretty nondescript here. It says silicone bicycle saddle mountain bike. I imagine you could use this on a road bike too. So here is the saddle. It has a bag here too, I don't know what's in this. Has a shower cap, so that's really cool. So if you're showering, you can put that on to keep your hair dry. I think this is a saddle cover. So this is supposedly waterproof, but that doesn't mean you want your saddle to get wet. So you could put that over here. Like say if you're camping out, you could leave that on there. If it's raining and you're inside waiting for the rain to stop, it keeps your seat dry. So that's a cool feature. So according to the description on Amazon, this weighs 500 grams or half a kilogram. This is PU leather here, which is essentially like polyurethane leather. It has a reflective strip here and here. Has this kind of glossy logo on it here. And the feature of this that makes this unique from traditional saddles is the slit in the middle. I say unique compared to traditional, so it's getting to be more common that saddles will have this slit in here. I think it's supposed to help with medical issues, although I don't know if the saddle manufacturers are making those claims. But you can talk to your doctor about it if you feel like this is something that could help that. I'm just going to try the saddle. So it's pretty smushy here. This supposedly has like a silicone gel in it, so it's pretty soft. Now the two sides don't seem to really flex separately, although when you put your whole body weight on, I'm sure it does move a little bit. So we have steel rails here. It's hard plastic on the bottom, and it looks like it's screwed on here with hex screws. I don't know if you could take this off and repair it easily. The middle part is stapled, and it does come with the mount, which is actually good because, as we'll see in a minute, the one I had on my bike wouldn't have fit this saddle, so I'm glad it came with this part. So I'm going to head over to the bike and we'll get this installed. Okay, I have my bicycle mounted in a bike stand, but a lot of people won't. They'll just have it on the ground. So you want your bike seat to be level. So I'm going to level it up in my bike stand, so when I go to put the new one on, I can just level the seat and I'll know it's level. So I got that pretty close, but when I get it on the ground, I'll double check it. Next, the new saddle may be at a different height than this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the bottom of my bottom bracket, and that's this right here. I'll measure from there up this tube to the top of the saddle. So I got around 27 3/4. Next, I'm going to measure from the bolt on the headset to the front of the saddle, so I know how far back to put it. So I got 16.5. Now I need to remove the old saddle. So I'm using a 1/2-inch wrench here. You could also use a 13mm. Now sometimes these will have bolts on both sides, and they connect up, so you can just loosen one or loosen both. Okay, you'll notice on these saddles that this is facing forward. So I'll put the new saddle on. I'll loosen this bolt up, and you can see there's one on either side here. So this is a little stiff right now. I'm going to loosen this up with my dead blow. You could also use a block of wood. Okay, I'm having a little trouble getting that on. It's a little tight. So I'm going to hold it with one hand. I'm going to give it a couple wraps on top with my other. Still having a little trouble here, so I'll give it a little twisting action. I don't know how visible it is, but you can see this little lip here, and that should bottom out on this tube. So you want to make sure you have it all the way down. So I measured the height of the seat, but I don't really care to change that right this second. So I'm going to do a quick check of the height and see if it's in the ballpark of where the old one was. And it's probably a full inch higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the other dimension and get it pretty close. But then when I get it on the ground, I may need to tweak it a little bit. And that's kind of the rule for bike seats in general, is that a lot of times you'll set them up and then you'll test things out and you'll have to change them later. So this is also angled in. So I'm going to look from the back like so, and I'm going to straighten it up the best I can. So this is a little tricky to put a level on because it has that split in the middle. I found a board to set on here. You could use a box, you could use all sorts of things as long as it's flat. So now I'm going to tighten these nuts, and you can see the stud inside of the nut. I like them to be even on both sides. So this one's about flush, it's just below flush, and the other one is recessed, so I'll tighten the other one first. So I have that just slightly snugged up, and I see I need to put the front down. That's about right. Okay, that seems pretty tight. So I'm going to take this on a ride and I'll give some feedback on it. So I went on around a 5-mile bike ride. I spent most of my time in the seat, meaning I wasn't standing up while pedaling. I would say it was comfortable. Of course, it's very subjective. I would say it was more comfortable than the previous seat I was using. It's hard for me to tell if this slit in the middle is helping or not. I don't know if I went on like a 50-mile bike ride, which I'm not in shape for today, but if I would feel different. I feel at the price point of this seat, it's kind of marketed towards casual riders. So if you're a more experienced rider, you could potentially buy this seat and try it out, and if it doesn't work, pass it on to someone else. I do also want to mention that I ended up moving it back. I slid it back more. It was all the way forward. I don't know how my measurements ended up that way, but I would do some research on how to fit a bike seat if you're not familiar, and do all the measurements on your bicycle to get it fit, and then tweak it as needed. So if you're looking for one of these split bicycle seats on a budget, I think this is a good option to try out. It seems to be well built. I think this will give me plenty of years of use. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.